about solving a system of equations by a process called elimination. Okay, you've already learned two other methods, graphing and substitution. This is the third method. And we're going to use these 6 steps that you wrote in your workbook just before this video. I've abbreviated them here so we can refer to them. So the first step is to rewrite these equations in standard form if they're not already in that form. Remember, that standard form is ax plus by equals c. So this one is already in standard form. 3x minus 4y equals 9. But the second one is not. The x term is in the wrong place. It needs to be on the left. So all we need to do to this equation is subtract 2x from both sides. These add to 0 over here, and we end up with negative 2x plus 5y equals negative 6. So I'm going to rewrite that new version, this written in standard form, underneath this other equation. Well, yeah. These are the two we have to combine. Now, what we do in elimination is try to figure out a way to get these x terms or these y terms to have coefficients that are opposites, so that when we add these two equations together to get an equivalent equation, either x's or y's are eliminated. Okay, so that's the next step. We want to multiply one or both of these equations as needed by some number that will create a positive and a negative of the same number. We're going to have to multiply both of these equations by something, because one of the numbers doesn't divide into the other for either the x's or y's coefficients rather. So here's a possibility. There's lots of possibilities. We want to keep it kind of small though. So let's multiply the top one by 2, which would give us 6x, and the bottom one by 3, which would give us negative 6x. So I'm going to write that here and distribute it. I'm going to multiply the top one by 2, the bottom one by 3, and we're going to distribute these through the whole equation and write that result below. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 4x is negative 8y. Times negative 4y is negative 8y. And 2 times 9 is 18. Now we're going to do the same with the 3. We're going to put that result right below this one. We're going to distribute that 3 here, and over here. Okay? So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x. And we have what we need. We're going to add those together later, and they'll add to 0. What's 3 times 5y? That's 15y. And what's 3 times negative 6? That's negative 18. I'm going to draw a line, and now we're going to do step 3. Add these two equations together so that one of the variables drops out. In this case, the negative 6x and the positive 6x here in the beginning add to 0. The 0 plus the rest is the same. So the next one, negative 8y plus 15y, is going to be 7y. And what's 18 minus 18? Why, that's 0. And the next step 4, is to solve the resulting equation that you get from adding the equations for the variable. So we're going to divide by 7 here and here on both sides of that equation and get our answer for y, which is y equals 0. Okay, so we've gotten our first answer, but we have y, we need x. We're going to take one of the original equations, let's say this one, 3x minus 4y equals 9, and substitute in that value of 0 for y. So I can rewrite that as 3x minus 4 times 0 equals 9. Or 4 times 0 is 0. 3x plus that 0 is 3x. So now we have 3x equals 9, and we can solve that by dividing by 3 and get x equal 3. So the final solution for this system is the ordered pair where x is 3 and y is 0. So we did step 5, plugged in that value of 0 and solved it. And now the last step is to check it. So I'm going to erase what we have. Everybody see that's 3, 0 is the solution because we got those two answers there and there. And we'll go back to the original equations and check to see whether that solution works in each one. If it works in both, then it must be the correct solution. So 3 times 3 minus 4 times 0. Is that equal to 9? Well, 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 0 is 0. And yes, indeed, 9 minus 0 is 9. 9 equals 9. Checks. We're good with that one. The other original equation was 5y equals 2x minus 6. So I'm going to plug 3, 0 in that. 5 times 0, make sure you put the right coordinate in the right place. That y is 0 there. 2 times 3 minus 6. And this 5 times 0 is 0. Oh, we should put a question mark there because we're not sure yet. And a question mark on that equal sign too because we're checking out whether 6 minus 6 equals 0. But it does. 6 minus 6 we know is 0. So 0 equals 0 is my result, and that checks as well. So there you have it.